Everything feels in tune, in harmony. The beat of the engine, the mood of the crew, the green backdrops that slip past 45M as she leaves the city behind and heads into adventure. Last night I read Lawrence Durrell before I went to sleep. A line sticks in my mind. Travel can be one of the most rewarding forms of introspection. You would have liked this trip. Dick and Declan Carney and myself get on really well with each other, but we pass hour after contented hour, not speaking, each sunk in his own thoughts. The quarries of Golia's town float by like a lost city of the Incas. The jungle has taken over and softened the outlines of old industry. The limestone from here built all the great structures of the canal and half of Dublin. Now the workings have become peaceful country ponds. What would they feel about this? Those hard men with their mules and shovels and barrows who sweated here 200 years ago. Somewhere there should be a monument to the canal navvy. One of the great joys of canal travel for me is that the boat, when it's going well, gets up to a comfortable walking pace. You can hand over the tiller, get off at a lock or a bridge, and stretch your legs. This narrow strip of unspoiled limestone meadowland is a glorious thing in the summer. The small secrets of an ant's nest revealed. A self-contained, self-absorbed world hidden in a grassy mound. And that much persecuted plant, the ragwort, poisonous to cattle but pleasant to the eye. It's the host plant for the cinnabar moth, and this whole strip of bank is an outdoor takeaway restaurant for insects. Purple knapweed, like a thistle without a thorn. And the essences of summer. The heavy scent of meadowsweet, a little over the top, like an overdressed woman. And the sharp tang of bog mint, offering a contrast of freshness. And yet the battered stone begs to inform that we're only 7 miles by canal from the city. Hazelhatch is a place of boat people and their boats. Rusting barges that kindle the ambitious gleam of restoration in Dick Carney's eye. Half-completed steel dreams. Fantasies of naval architecture. And the boat people themselves. Practical dreamers. Romantics with power drills. a motley collection of individualists united by a passion for water and the boats that are always on the verge of bankrupting them.
We ever saw was one day we were going by Eden Derry. We saw this barge and said, my God, what's that? We stopped and had a look and got talking to the people, Anna and Pat, who owned it, and fell madly in love with it. Went downstairs and big stained glass doors and lovely stove and all that. So we started looking out for one of our own, and we looked at a lot of them, but a lot of them were rotten, they're so old and that. And one day we came across this totally rotten one. She's called the Pomeroy in Robertstown, and just fell madly in love with the shape of her. So we did some research and we found out she was the #1 horse-drawn barge, and we said, well, might as well start from nothing and build her up again, keep her shape. She still has her original shape. We made sure of that. We cut each square from her and replaced it in exactly the same shape. She's still exactly the same way she was originally.
That's right. They have a very special shape. This was a horse-drawn boat, and it had a very fine entry to make it easy for the horse to work. You'll notice that the more modern boats, the ones with the Bollander's diesel engine, have a more bluff shape. They weren't so concerned about the shape of the boat because the engine would push it nonetheless.
Travelling by canal has its surrealistic moments. Bringing the boat over the bridge is a Salvador Dali sort of idea. But a mood of acceptance has set in. I relax back into the beat of the engine and just enjoy the experience. What arrogant men those 18th century engineers were. What confidence to decide to fling a canal and a road across a river in an unmechanical age. They realised their dreams in cut limestone.
The Leinster Aqueduct is certainly a most remarkable piece of engineering when you consider that it was built in the 1780s. And of course the very idea of bringing a canal across a river in those days was a very difficult operation.
And the proud dreams of the engineers were transformed into hard reality by the muscles of the navvies.
Well, it involved bringing all this stone here, and a lot of this was done by boat on the completed section of the canal. All the stone here came from the quarries at Golyerstown, which you came through near the 12th lock at Lucan.
It's easy to understand why so many people think it would be a shame if the canal died. There's so much tied up in it. So much history, so many lives, so much wonder. days we've been travelling uphill. The old geography books described Ireland as a saucer, with the highest land around the rim. We've been pushing through rising lochs, climbing the rim of the saucer. Today's target is to reach the summit level at Robertstown. After that, all the long miles to Limerick are downhill. 45M is going really well, mowing a path through the weed. All three of us give her shy compliments. The old girl's still able for the job, isn't she? There's a strange feeling. It's not so much that we're travelling under our own steam as that we're being drawn along by some outside force. The power of nature is very evident. We're being sucked up by the waterway, pushed along by a peristaltic spasm in the gut of the canal. This is a trip in every sense of the word.
It's one of these things that you get sort of slowly sucked into, and you enjoy it more and more. And we've had some wonderful trips on the canal, including many a trip right into Ringsend Basin. And that was really something, and very enjoyable, you know.
25 years ago, Frank built a boat himself, and we've been involved ever since. We've reared our family on the waterways. Always came up the canal, though. We always went to the Shannon via the canal. We used to lift at Clondalkin and take her home to Dublin, where we lived then. And then the attraction was so great that we moved to the canal, and we live here now, in Landonstown.
I think one of our biggest problems on the canal is that we can't get enough people to actually physically use it. And it's like everything else, if you don't use it, it doesn't stay alive. Nature takes over very, very quickly, and your 40-foot wide canal can very soon become a 10-foot channel if you're not very careful, you know.
This is what the Inland Waterways do. They bring a rally in. We have rallies, well, practically every year into Dublin.
Yeah.
Frank was in on a rally this year in Dublin.
This year, yeah. A funny thing about our waterways here too is that we don't as yet have any interest in people living very much on the canals. If you take England there, the number of houseboats and everything there, we don't have that. There's something lovely and relaxing, peaceful about it. And isn't that what the canal is about? Peace, relaxation, enjoyment, beauty for everybody. Not only for boating, but fishermen, walking, cycling, anything you like.
I agree. I think water exercises a special magic over people, all kinds of people. It makes them happy and serene.